Welcome to the fourth meeting of the Corporate Services Committee for February 3rd, 2020. It's 12 p.m. here in Council Chambers. Councillor Kaibaga, our chair, gives her regrets, so I'm filling in as the vice chair. Let me call the meeting to order and start by saying that the City of London is committed to making every effort to provide alternative formats and communication supports for council, standing, or advisory committee meetings and information upon request. To make a request for any city service, please contact accessibility@london.ca or call 519-661-2489, extension 2425. To make a specific request for this meeting, contact csc@london.ca. So I'll first look to the committee for disclosures of pecuniary interest. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent items. There is one item for consent, number 2.1, the third report of the City Manager Search Committee. Could I look for someone to move that? Councillor Morgan, seconded by Deputy Mayor Helmer. Any comments on this item? Okay, well then I'll call the question.
Closing the vote, the motion's passed 4-0.
Thank you. We don't have any scheduled items, and our items for direction are 4.1, consideration of appointment to the Advisory Committee on the Environment. This requires 4 voting members, and we have 6 applicants. So we're going to have to hold an election. So I'll look to the clerks to pass out a ballot. Are we going to use our system? We're actually going to use the system. Well, it's wonderful. Okay.
Do you want all 6 on the ballot?
Yes, I think best if we just put all 6 on the ballot, unless committee would like to shorten the list prior to that. Councillor Morgan.
Well, we could take nominations, but given that your preference is to put everybody on the list, you're likely just nominating them all, so we could proceed that way.
Okay, we'll see if that doesn't shorten the list. Okay, so I'll remind people that in this format, there are 6 members on the ballot. You have 4 votes for the 4 seats. So it doesn't rank the members, but you support your top 4 or any number fewer than that.
So closing the vote.
Okay, looks like we have a slate, so I'll look to the clerk to let us know who those names are.
So based on the votes received, Joseph Santorelli, Natalie Beauregard, and Brennan Vogel each received 4 votes. And Robert Pate received 2 votes. So those would be your top 4.
Thank you. I'll, of course, this voting process is not so much an election as a means of preparing a slate for approval. So I'll look to our committee for comments on the results, or perhaps ask someone to move the slate or provide an alternative.
I will move the slate that received the highest votes, so Brennan Vogel, Natalie Beauregard, Joseph Santarelli, and I gotta scroll up, Robert Pate.
Thank you. May I have a seconder for this slate? Councillor Morgan. Right? Okay. And I want to thank everyone who applied to be part of this committee. It takes some courage to put your name out there. Not everyone can be selected. When more people would like to serve, then we have spots. But we certainly encourage you to put your name forward for this committee at another time, or other committees. Thank you. So let's call that vote.
Closing the vote, the motion's carried 4-0.
Thank you. That moves us to deferred matters and additional business. Item 5.1 is the Corporate Services Committee Deferred Matters List. So I'll look to the committee for questions about that list, or perhaps a mover. Moved by Deputy Mayor Helmer. You have a
No,
comment?
in fact, I had a question. So I thought we had dropped 1.1 the last time we talked about it. And if not, I'd like to make a motion that we just drop it again. So I think we did that last time, but just to be on the safe side, why don't we do it again?
Okay, thank you. So we're looking to drop the file 1.1, City of London involvement in partnerships with other cities, which was a request for a report back on how different municipalities deal with sister cities. So I see that motion to drop item 1.1 is seconded by Councillor Morgan. Any comments, any further comments on this? Okay, let's call the question. Okay, yes, and the clerk has suggested that we do this all in one motion to drop 1.1 and then receive the remainder of the report.
Closing the vote, the motion's passed 4-0.
We are still at the point of deferred matters or additional business, so I look to the committee for any matters of additional business. I see none, so that takes us to our confidential items 6.1 through 6.6. Do you need a motion to go in? So I'm looking for a motion to go into confidential session, moved by Councillor Hopkins, seconded by Councillor Morgan. We'll call that vote.
This motion is for the 6 items that are reflected on the public agenda. Closing the vote, the motion's passed 4-0.
Thank you. So we will reconvene in room 3. And we will adjourn the meeting from that location. Thank you for attending.